Hello everyone. So today I'm going to teach you how to create a random password generator in Python. Now firstly you might ask, why do I need a random password generator in Python? So I would say that the normal passwords that you set either end up being too repetitive to guess or too easy. So this password generator will contain passwords, or rather generate passwords, which will contain uppercase and lowercase letters with the combination of numbers and symbols. So it's going to be very hard to guess. Now, coming to the IDE, I'm using PyCharm. You can use any IDE you want. I'm also on Python 3.9, and I would suggest to have over Python 3.6 as there are some modules that might change before that. Now let's begin off with creating our file. So if you're using PyCharm like me, you have to right click here and select Python file, and you can name your file anything, but I'll just choose password just for the sake of understanding. Now once you're here, once you've created your file, firstly, what modules will you need? First module that I'm going to import is random. Now the random module is used to perform random generations. Specifically, we'll use a sample module here. You will observe it later. Now the sample module works and how it will help us in creating the password. Now coming to the second module, we'll need the string module. The string module contains the strings, as it sounds, to all the known ASCII values, and specifically we'll use the ASCII values here. Now let's start off with the code. Firstly, before doing the actual part, I would like to greet my user. Hello, welcome to the random password generator. Now after this, first code that we need, from the string module, we are going to import all the letters there are, including uppercase and lowercase. So I'll name my variable all letters. It's a good habit to name your variables on what you're using them for, since in case you need to debug your code or you're giving someone else your code to read, it will be easier for them. So it's going to be string dot ASCII letters. Now remember, this will contain all the letters there are, including uppercase and lowercase. Just to show you, I'll show you this all letters. It's also a good habit to check your variables at each point, just so you know what they contain. So you can see they contain all the lowercase letters as well as the uppercase letters. Now I can use this directly in my code, but I'll divide them just to make the process a bit easier. So firstly, I'll take the lowercase letters. I'll name the variable lower. Now I have all letters. This is a string. Now what if we know that in Python lists, when we make an index from a certain part to a certain part, we are actually splicing the original string. And since I have given lower equals to that, I can store that splice string into lower. So the question is, how do I know where to start from? If I give the 0th index and I take it to the length of all letters and then divide the length by 2 in an integer form, I am supposed to get all the lowercase letters there are. Let's print lower. Yep, as you can see, from A to Z we have all the lowercase letters. Now for the uppercase, I'll name the variable upper aptly. And what do you think should be the code here? I'll give you a bit of time. Did you think about it yet? Well, it is going to be all letters, and we are going to splice it from exactly where the lowercase letters ended. Now I'll explain it to you in a moment what I've wrote here. Now as you can see, are all letters that I printed before contained the uppercase letters, the lowercase letters first and then the uppercase letters. So firstly I'm splitting the all letters into two halves, lower and upper. Now the upper already contained from the 0th index to the length of all letters by 2. It means it contained half from the first. It contained the first half of all letters. That means the rest of all letters contains the uppercase letters. So I'm starting from exactly where the all letters I ended for lower, and I'm not giving any ending index. When I don't give an ending index, it means that my index by default is the length of the string. So suppose here the length of all letters is going to be 52, since there are 26 uppercase letters and 26 lowercase letters. The length of all letters will be 52. So this equation ends up from 0 to 26. So it will contain all the lowercase letters, and this will begin from 26 up to 52. It will also print the 52nd letter, that is Z here. So this will be uppercase letters. Now good practice to check your code. Let's see if we have uppercase letters with us. Yes, we have all the uppercase letters from the string of all letters. Now we have the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters. Now what else do we need? We need numbers. How to get numbers? We'll again use the string module, and this time we'll import digits. Now the string.digits will return the numbers from 0 to 9. So let me print numbers, and here you go, from 0 to 9, all numbers. Okay, now this is done. We also have numbers now. Now we need symbols. Just let me write. These are our numbers that we are going to use. Now we need symbols. And this one we are going to get from the string.punctuations module. This module will return all the symbols there are. So let's print symbols, and as you can see, we have all the symbols there are. These are special characters which, when implemented in your password, will make your password tougher. Okay, so at this point, let me share this. So at this point, you can see we have lower, upper, numbers and symbols. So what we can really do, we can make a total mixture of all four of these. Right, now let's do that. Symbols. Now I'll name this string as mixed because it contains the mixture of lower, upper, numbers and symbols. So since all four of these are strings, I can just concatenate them with the plus symbol. So I'll do lower plus upper plus numbers plus symbols. So at this point, let's print mixed. And as you can see, I have my lowercase letters, I have my uppercase letters, I have my numbers, and I have all my symbols. So simple. Now what to do with this mixed? Here is where the random function comes in. Now let me choose the variable name as password very aptly, and password will be equal to random dot sample. Now it will take two inputs. The first one will be the string where you are choosing your sample from. So for me that is my mixed string, and the second one will be the length of the password, or rather the length of the string, or in our case the length of the password. So I haven't really made a variable which inputs the length, so I'm going to give int. Always remember to typecast your inputs, because in Python generally when you enter any kind of input it is as a string. So if you want to be it an integer, then you have to typecast it. Enter the size of the password. Okay, and now I just pass length here. Now at this point there is a problem. The problem is that we are going to create the password, that's all right, but the password from the random.sample module is going to be returned as a list. But we don't really want to show our user or use a list. We want a normal string that we can read, just like hello, welcome to the random password generator. It should be something like that. So we are going to use a function known as join. Now I'm going to store the result back into password, so I'm going to overwrite what is existing in password. I'll just explain to you what I've written after. Yeah, so let me explain now. The join function basically joins a list with a given separator. Here our separator is nothing. I've given nothing between the two double quotes. So basically we can say that it's not going to be separated. It's basically going to join every element that there is sequentially. So at this point our password is ready and we can print our password. So let's give a small message as password equals to our password. Let's run it. I'll enter 10. So as you can see, we've got a pretty good password of exactly 10. Now let me run it again. Let's choose the length to be 5 or maybe 8 this time. So we have got a different password. It's very different from the last one, and it's also within the length limit. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, exactly 8, and these are very hard to guess passwords. I even don't think anybody can guess them, possibly. So yeah, there you go. You have a password generator now, and you don't need to worry about making a hard password whenever they ask for it. And I always suggest you to use a password manager, because these passwords are very hard to remember and you might forget them in the future. So using a password manager will keep them secure as well as in one place. So whenever you need it or you need to access an account, you will get to it. And that was it from my side. Thank you so much for listening to me all this time, and I'll meet you next time.